Previously on Coupled with Chaos Personal Podcast.
All I can be is nice.
Keep being who you are.
Yep.
Unless you're bad, right? If you're bad, then you should probably change.
You should change.
But who really thinks themselves is bad? Maybe we are. It's possible we are. Possibly the next parent. We know that you are, Ryan.
Right, yeah.
I'm just an idiot, and you're a bad person.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
I think something's wrong with my ear.
Why?
I don't know. It hurts, and there's a thing. I touch it, and I think there was even blood today.
Where in your ear?
Not in the ear. Kind of like on. What's the difference between in the ear and on? Where's the line between in and on?
In the ear canal or on the external part of your ear?
I would count the external as on the outside. Like if it was a shell, it would be on that shell part and not the inside part.
If it is in the curving parts of your ear, but on the outside, not in the ear canal, it's probably a pimple.
Yeah, I don't
Those
know.
hurt
I think it's
really badly.
Like a tick is what I think. I think.
Oh, stop!
I need you to look in my ear because I can't see it.
I feel like you're making this up.
I'm not. I don't. I'm not past making stuff up, but I wouldn't make this up. Like I got a problem, but it's been I know you're going to get mad at me right now. It's probably been a couple of weeks, but since you haven't seen
you
blood or me or my ear, then you
or
wouldn't
any other
notice.
part of you.
They a pool of blood. So when I wake up in the morning, there's this pool of blood on my pillow. Is that a problem?
Yeah.
There's not. No, that wasn't actually true. But there was blood today, not on the pillow. I would scream if there was. We've told it before. It's been a long time. The 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm choking in the bed, and I cough up what I believe I don't know what it is, but I cough up something. And then I run to the bathroom, and I turn the light on, and, because your eyes are dilated, and you can't see nothing. And so what I did notice is there was blood all over the wall. And then in my hand, there's this grape, a bloody grape, right? And so it was from a procedure I had done. Yeah. It had clotted, and then it, in my
you didn't know
snoring.
what it was, and you were scared. You woke me up and said, "Kelly, what is this?"
Right, it was not a light thing. I've coughed up what I believe. I don't know. I'm not good at anatomy, and we know that we're not doctors, so I don't know what came out of me. I'm thinking, what could this be?
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, well, being a female, I've seen this before.
It was
it's a giant blood clot.
It's the size of a testicle, and I had coughed it out of my throat. It was
really big. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what this is. And so so I come to you and I have problems. And so I'm telling you, there's something going on there that maybe you need to look at.
Why did it take you this long to tell me?
Well, I didn't think it was a problem, but I kind of scratched it today, and that's when I pulled my hand back and there was blood on my hand. So there's something.
I'm going to guess there's probably a pimple. They take a long time to come to a head when they're in your ear. And they hurt so badly. It's terrible. You just get a clogged pore, and then it makes a little pimple.
I made the mistake.
It's very painful.
Don't make the mistake on whatever social media you're part of watching an extraction of a pimple, or even what I found is worse is earwax removal. They have people record this.
Yeah, I've had this a million times, and I've seen it firsthand.
They make a video of this, and they put it out there, and I kind of wonder, it's I think we'd watch one of these things where somebody had a moth or something in their ear.
Yeah.
But don't watch
And we
these.
said, why didn't they know that was in there? Didn't they feel it moving?
Yeah, wouldn't you I would, ultimately, what I do is when I'm in the shower, I do flush that out. It's a part of my cleaning process. So I don't think stuff can hang out in there. If there was a moth or a bug or something, I think it wouldn't be happy and it would come out. You watch one of those videos and my ears itches. It's like watching Hoarders, right? It's like watching Hoarders and Under the Couch is calling. Like, I need to go look under the couch or clean up my refrigerator or whatever happens during hoarders. Yeah. It's an automatic cleaning thing.
It's true.
But
it's
I
like
come
a
to you.
reflex.
I come to you and I have issues. And so I remember.
I find it interesting that you come to me with a new issue over the podcast when we're in opposite ends of the house.
What I noticed is because I have the headphones, I put my headphones on, and I went, ouch. I went, oh, yeah, that's that ear thing I got, whatever's going on. My ear's swollen and red. Is that a problem?
Probably.
Oh, that's. I remember coming to you with another one. We won't get into that one, but it was the opposite end of my ear, not my toes. And like, hey, I got something going on. And so I'll never be able to, I don't know. It's just, I couldn't do that for somebody. You know, I can't, you guys like have this burn or cut, and I go, I can't look at that. You show me something like of a wound on your screen, on your phone, and I go, I can't look at that. I'm not looking at that. Look what happened. Yeah, look what happened to this neutering. I'm like, no way I'm looking at that.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I can't look at that.
A dog had to go to rescue because Dallas
they screwed up the neutering.
Shelter.
I can't see that. I don't need to see that.
Caused all these complications.
So that's why I have you. You're the closest thing I have to a medical professional. And evidently in your own life, you're the closest thing that you get to seeing a medical professional.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. I'll get into your health issues later, but we're going to stay with me and you trying to kill me because. Yeah,
I mean, really, what would I do without me?
Isn't that
in
gloating?
Regards to my own health?
Right. I think you're bragging on yourself.
No, what would I do without myself?
Well, you should always be your
I
own
can't even get anybody to call me.
You should be your own advocate. I'll call you more. I'll do that. My thought is I'm what I think is the big story of the week is that you personally, and I made sure to write this down, violated a rule of yours, like something that you live by, something that you preach over and over again, that this is a rule.
Okay.
And you violated this rule.
Okay, well, I guess lay it on me.
I'm going to call it, and I think we've called it, the 3-day rule.
Oh, come on.
Well, that's
Are we really going to waste time talking about
We're not.
this?
Well, let's be honest. I'm a bit confused by this because I preached the 3-day. You know why I preached the 3-day rule? Do you know why?
Because I said it.
Because you said it. And so for me, it is what is the gospel according to Kelly when it comes to food.
Let's just remember that you said to me, just give me whatever
I'm good with
and
that.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, but you were a little quick. And then when you say,
I said,
this is day 5.
That's too many days. And you said, oh, just put it on a sandwich. I'll be fine.
I wanted you, my thought would be that you would fight that more. Like I say that all the time. You say the 3-day rule, and I go, it'll be all right.
So this is what I don't get.
It'll be all right. And then you go, it won't be all right. You're right, the 3-day rule. I've got to freeze this. I got to do something else with it. I believe, technically, we may have made it to like day 6 because of, you made this, what was this casserole thing that you made?
Turkey broccoli casserole.
Turkey broccoli. I believe
it's delicious, by the way.
It is very good.
It is my favorite, probably new meal to make with leftover turkey because it's really good.
The end of Thanksgiving is what it was.
Yeah.
Past the ham sandwiches was the turkey broccoli casserole.
Well, we had something else before that because we had so much turkey this year that thing must have had a lot of meat on it.
I told you.
Because it was just a breast.
I told you as I was cutting it up that this was more than I remember it being previous years.
I wish I could remember what brand it was.
This was a steroid-filled
at Walmart.
Turkey.
Wow.
Plumped up.
It was like a almost 9-pound breast.
Gelatin and probably, it's probably ground up and it possibly could have been made from...
stop. Let's not go there.
Organ meat. it could have been. It would be like a turducken. You know what a turducken is?
Brakes. Throw on the brakes.
A turducken. You know what a turducken is?
A turkey duck chicken.
Yeah, but it was like ground up meat that they formed into like this turkey. It's a football thing that they do on Thanksgiving, and they give them to people. It's like turkey and duck and chicken all ground up into whatever. With some.
All right, well, that's enough of this. We got real stuff to talk about.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. The 3-day rule. Although I did, during this whole fiasco, I did make an ordeal of this, as you announced that I was going to be eating 4-day-old food.
I made turkey fettuccine. And then we still had turkey. So then I made...
Is that white chocolate turkey fettuccine?
Turkey broccoli casserole. No, it is not the Amy Slatton version of fettuccine.
White chocolate. And a pound of garlic powder.
Disgusting. That was so gross. I wanted to hurl. I think I felt it come up in my throat.
We call that throat closing. My throat closed is what. I heard that, and I like that a lot. I at least made you laugh during this, right? I'm at least happy that, because while you announced I was going to be eating old food, I just kind of began to stagger and fall. And then you laughed. And
right.
I think for me, ultimately, I don't have a lot of people in my life to make laugh. And I think as long as I can make you laugh.
You do make me laugh.
Then it's good.
You know what I find amusing is that now there's just the three of us in the house. We've come to sitting around the table at a meal together, trading off possible lines to a joke situation.
I couldn't think of a better way to spend my time.
It was so fun.
Well, even this morning.
We're all just throwing out different versions.
So this morning, in jokes, right, I think things that are really funny aren't stories to tell. So there really isn't a story to tell here other than we joined for like on the weekend, you do like a large late breakfast that really turns into a breakfast and
a
lunch.
Brunch.
I believe the meal, they call it brunch, but we call it breakfast still. It's just a big breakfast. Yeah. So it's a 2-meal day for us.
Right.
And, whatever, you had some leftover orange juice and there was, a splash in each cup, and it was you and me together, and I'd made a joke and it was just the two of us, and you laughed and it was relatively funny. And tagging along late, the boy comes in. Probably 3 or 4 minutes later, he sits down and then says a joke about the amount of orange juice in the cup.
Basically the same joke that you just said.
Written differently.
Which made it funnier.
But because he didn't know about the first one. And
right.
I think for me, even though mine was better, I loved that he
played it out also.
He did.
Like he did the whole gestures and the facial expressions. Like it was great.
I don't know that there are many times that I've been more proud of one of my children than when he comes in there and the first thing he sees is this, and sees a punchline and sees here's a possibility for a laugh, and then he didn't go for it in like 2 seconds. It took him
he delayed it
20 seconds
on purpose.
He got the timing right and he delivered it, and I went, you know what? I couldn't be any happier. And then we probably, for 15 minutes, then analyzed why this was funny for everybody.
Yeah. And went back and forth with different versions.
Yeah, this is great. So for me,
it was funny
that 2 people came in the room at different times and we still found the same.
Saw the humor in the same thing.
In the exact same thing. I couldn't probably be more proud. I'm just happy. I feel really good. My thought is, I could, and you wouldn't be happy about it, we could turn him into a comic. I always thought our daughter was the funnier one. But he's pretty...
But she's too moody.
Right. Well, to tell you the truth, for an actual comic, she's probably got more of the temperament for it. Because they're not really happy, fun people. You would think comics are happy and fun. They're not. They're more like me, brooding and... I don't know, in a bad mood most of the time. And we're just starving for attention or whatever it turns out to be. he's not necessarily like that. And I think he's generally funny. He
is pretty funny.
I would love to sit down with him and craft, because I don't even think he needs me a ton to craft a 5-minute set. I think he would do well.
You know what? Him and Hayden, I noticed when they were together over Thanksgiving, they were doing it with each other and making each other crack up.
Right.
They were just sitting around cracking jokes to each other and making each other laugh.
But I think it's a lot of times it's what's funny and what isn't. And so what I find, though, is that Holden's humor, I just like it better. I think we really
similar.
Yeah, I'm surprised though. I didn't see it coming. I think of the kids, that I maybe been around, I think maybe it's not been till, the last, I don't know, maybe year and a half, the time we've spent has been more together. But to watch him grow up, not only as a person, but just his sense of humor. And I really find that it's funny because we're really in tune. I thought I was with the others, but there are times when he's now my audience, and I almost crave for him to be around because
he plays along.
Yes, and then we stop.
I know exactly why this is. I know why he's the one. And I said it from the beginning when he was little. He paid the most attention to your jokes because he wanted to be funny like you. And I used to get after you, if you remember, that he, at that age, didn't know
when to stop,
and that you were making him inadvertently go too far. And it was kind of annoying. And so here he is now older, still not any more in control than he was then. Still takes it too far, still doesn't know when to stop, but he's funny.
Because what I think happens is, and you can tell stories about this thing that happened that's funny, but it's not funny to anybody else. It's like telling somebody your dreams, right? Nobody really cares about what you're dreaming.
Guess what?
What?
Guess what he spent the whole time we were walking around Walmart telling me? And I just completely zoned out about his dreams.
Oh, well, that's good. That's what happens. So nobody really cares too much about your dreams, right? They don't.
Because they didn't make any sense at all, and I felt like he was just making it up as he went along. So.
Well, as somebody with severe ADHD, there is a blurred line between reality and what's going on in there. Could you imagine what's going on? It's why I've got to have some noise when I go to sleep, because it just goes everywhere. But he
said something to me. He makes no sense. He said something to me like, "Hey, Mom," this is as we're walking into Walmart. "Hey, Mom, have you ever realized that you're dreaming, so you just start walking around?" I go, "You walk around in your sleep while you're dreaming?" He goes, No, in the dream. You just start walking around because in the dream you realize you're dreaming. Oh my gosh, I can't even follow this.
And then he's talking
a mile a minute, and it goes into a whole thing, and I'm like, this is making my brain hurt.
He just had some pizza, so he was all caloried up.
He was charged up.
He was on fire. So I
was I can't follow this.
That's good.
Maybe too much.
Maybe we do need to keep him around. I need like somebody to bounce funny off of. So that'll be good. I need somebody. We're going to talk about so much more. Feel like we're scattering everywhere, but we've got doctor visits and you being sick and
except not sick
all at the same time. So we're going to talk about all that and more coming up.
Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
by subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon,
or by subscribing to our Supercast,
for $3.99 a month,
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
real life, and more on our podcasts.
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes.
Tell your friends about this podcast.
And rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.